The island, a beautiful oasis filled with many friendly and ferocious creatures. Also, creatures with 2 IQ. But that's not the point. So, I tasked myself with surviving 100 days in this beautiful, yet so deadly environment. Also, this is hardcore mode. If I die even once, I get reset to level 1. But just for an added fear factor, I'll quit the world and burn my PC. Also, credit to Zanny Zebra for this video. So let's see if I can survive and keep my PC out of burning flames. Day 1, and I spawned in and took off running, because I'm a skinny white boy and I have no street cred in these parts of the arc. But what I am doing is a note run.
Smart.
You run around getting explore notes to level up your character very fast since they give you an XP bonus. I eventually found my way to a green drop and also discovered I had skins in my inventory with a Noglin chibi. I named him Nugget. After finding absolute donkey nuts in the drop, I took out my Angro to level 4 Nostops. Then I had some large fish trying to turn me into their lunch, but they cannot harm me outside of the water. I then got 2 more explorer notes and made a campfire to cook some meat while I hunkered down for the night, learning ingredients and crafting armor. At the end of the night, I became restless and chose violence. Day 2 started with me crafting narcotics from a mortar and pestle I had made the night before. After applying the narcotics to my arrows making trank arrows, I stumbled across a helpless pteranodon.
Hey, f you, man!
But instead of helping it, I was going to enslave it and make it my personal travel device. I also found the monkey that I nearly tamed, but I scared it and it ran away. The pteranodon tamed as night fell, so as any normal person would do, I ran. I didn't know what I was running for or from. Maybe a place is on my base or a creature. I couldn't tell you, but I just did. I eventually came across an unconscious parasaur who had likely been knocked out by a Titanoboavite. It was the freest tame of my life, so I put berries in her inventory and let her tame. After the parasaur had been tamed, the run began again. I fought off Dilos while running through the night. I nearly made it till morning without loss until... Oh, it's after us. It's after us. No, parasaur, come on. No, our parasaur. No. Day 3, and I cannot cry over the past. I have to keep moving. I spotted a level 4 Carnotaurus, and being the power-hungry person I am, I made a trap. To trap it. The operation went smoothly, and within no time, the Carno was on the floor begging for my mercy. I tamed the beast, and later tamed the same Carno that killed my parasaur. I then decided to finish the day by going on a midnight metal run. I heard a calf rope. It was day 4, and somehow I have not died. The day began with the Carnos having some sexy time. Oh, yeah. I then actually completed the mission of getting a little bit of metal. A forge was then crafted along with the smithy, and then a metal pickaxe to help me farm metal more efficiently. I also put the Carno egg down, and it actually incubated a little bit. A campfire was also made alongside some more refining forges. I also then put some wooden doors in the door frames of the trap because I knew I'd be living there for a little while. Finishing the day off, I knocked out 2 more pteranodons, one level 18 and the other level 28. It was the 5th day, and as I waited for my pteranodon to tame, I killed a parasaur for its hide. After one of my birds tamed, I returned to the base and crafted a Carno saddle. Let's just say, I took the Carno for a spin. Then, I took both of my Carnos down to the beach to collect the metal in the metal rocks. The next day, my Carnotaurus egg hatched. First Carno. I think I may have put the maturation rate a bit too high, considering I can literally see it growing. I learned some flacking grim. Then I named my baby Carno and then flew off to get some more explore notes to level up my pteranodon. When I returned home from my little adventure, my Carno was half grown. Oh my god, bro, it's growing so fast. And then I crafted myself some flax.
Nice.
Later, I tamed myself another parasaur. I quickly put him to use by harvesting narco berries for my next tame. By the end of the night, I was crafting a new trap. Day 7 started with a wild adventure as I went looking for my next tame, an Argent Davis. Oh my god! I'm out of stamina. Run! Oh my god! Why are they so fast? Why are they so fast? Oh. I don't want to be here anymore. Eventually, I found a level 32 Argentavis. I gathered some prime for the bird to help him tame quicker, and oh, did he tame quicker. After the Archie was tamed, I took the chance and mined some metal, and then flew home. When I arrived, I set the forges ablaze, and put this little roof over some of my base. Day 8, and I was actually in a really good mood, just to be disappointed by a yellow drop with a ring! Oh, oh, oh!
Oh my god!
I found the bugs. Oh my god, I'm so close to death. Well, my near-death experience brought me to some Meganora, allowing me to get a saddle for my RG. Then I went on a murdering spree, and by the end of the night, I began my flight towards the Redwoods. It is the 9th day of our adventure, and you're probably wondering, why am I going to the Redwoods again? But that is because I'm on the hunt for an Ankylosaurus. They're quite good at gathering metal. I eventually found a level 10 and knocked it out. Eventually, it tamed, and I flew home as the day ended. Wondering why this one was so short? It's because RGs are slow as Day 10 was a pretty uneventful day. I farmed some berries and made some more rifle bullets. The rest of the day was spent making preparations for a bigger and better house. I crafted a lot more wood structures, and I flew through the night to the location of oil and silica pearls so I can make a fabricator. It was a new day, and I began the day with a terrible loot from a supply drop. I gathered some silica pearls and mined some oil before flying home. I was always on the lookout for a high level dino that could be worth taming, that could be useful to me in the future. And then when I arrived back to my sad looking shack, I took the first step into a modern future by crafting a fabricator. It was here that I decided I wanted to move to a different location, possibly one that had more useful resources and more useful dinos. So I began farming a few basic structures for my new base. And when night fell, I whistled one of my lower level Pteranodons to follow me as I flew back out to the snow in search of penguins for their organic polymer. Day 12, and I did not find any penguins. But I did find a Hesperornis, otherwise known as those aggressive little ducks. And apparently they give quite a bit of polymer when you beat their lifeless bodies with clubs. After collecting my polymer, I made my way to the Red Obelisk to craft some much needed cryopods if I wanted to travel across the island with all my dinos. It turned out to be quite a successful trip when I spotted it. Oh, Spino. Level 32. I want that. So I quickly raced home, crafted trank arrows, and set out to tame the beast. I shot this thing with trank all night, and it would not go to sleep. Hey, it's a new day, and I'm still shooting this thing. This Spino was running left and right, trying to avoid me at all costs, until I got up in personal. No, it died! My Pteranodon died! Dude, just go down. Yes, it's down! Oh my Pteranodon died? No! I then ran home and grabbed my RG to come back and secure the tame. I also found a decent level Pteranodon, so it had to be mine. When I returned home, I crafted my Spinosaurus a saddle. Day 14, and I tamed one of the cutest creatures on the ark. Just look at him. The rest of the morning, I spent preparing to go on my journey to find a better place to live. That meant cryoing dinos that would be too weak for the journey, crafting a few more structures, and also packing my resource into the dinos that would be making the journey. By mid-afternoon, me, my 3 Carnos, RG, and Spino set off for a better land. We ran through the night, killing everything in our path. Dylas now. Get him, get him. Oh my god. No! No! We gotta run. I just lost 3 Carnos, dude. By the end of the traumatic day, I gathered my loot from the bodies of my Carnos, continuing my journey farther inland. Day 16, and I arrived at a metal mountain. I decided I was going to call this place home because there's many resources and useful dinos around it. But I then had to fight a T-Rex to establish my dominance as king of the hill. I then began to work on my very scuffed wooden base that would actually take quite a lot of work in the coming days. And by the end of the day, I placed my smithy down along with my 3 forges. I then set out to farm some more structures as dawn broke. Today I managed to build one layer of the walls on my house. I then placed my fabricator and more forges to have a full row. I then spent the rest of the day farming metal so it would be smelting as I continued to work on my house. Day 18 and I started off the day with cutting down trees because I still needed a lot of wood for my house and forges. I then spotted a Dodicarus which I quickly kidnapped on my way back to my house. When I got back to my base, I put the wood I farmed into the forges so the metal could start to smelt while I did other things. I also built a little ramp and then I threw out my parasword and did some farming for narco berries for tranks. And then when night fell, I harvested more wood for forges and sniped some Dimorphodons, just for the fun of it. Day 19 was a pretty uneventful day with me spending most of the day just building walls and the roof of my house until I spotted it.
Nice.
Oh my gosh, it has a ring. It has a ring. Come on. Yeah, I spent the rest of the day working on my house and crying. But luckily, day 20 started off on a better note. I spent most of the day doing base regression like building, farming stone, making storage boxes, and getting these cool torches at the end of the day. Day 21 began with quite a lucky Uranus find. I needed that courage roaring beast for a boss fight. After I spotted, I quickly flew back to my area, crafted narcotics, arrows, and stone structures for a trap. I then tried trapping the beast all night. Things like this kept happening. God. Not again, bro! Go in it. Oh, it's getting melted. I can't drop it. No, it's gonna die! Spotting this new Uranus, I quickly made another trap, assuming that it would kill everything as it was almost max level. After placing the trap, it took a long time and many times when my RT got scared, but I finally got it. No! Ah! Oh my god! Oh, it's literally in the trap. You're mine, bro, you're mine. After trapping it, I had to kill the Carnos because they were an annoyance. I then proceeded to shoot the UD all night with trank arrows. Shot the UD with trank arrows until around midday on day 23. I then proceeded to kill other dinos for prime meat and spiked walled off the UD so nothing could kill it. And at the end of the night, it was mine. Oh my god. Get it. Whoop it. Oh no, the gaggle. Day 24 was spent leveling the UD and getting it back to base. Once I made it back, I made a preserving bin to make whatever things that spoil, such as meat, last longer. I also repaired my flak, and then to finish the day, I made a feeding trough and did a meat run to keep my dinos fed. Day 25 started with more narcoberry farming and a lot of gunpowder crafting. After crafting trank arrows from the narcotics I crafted, I set out to tame a high-level Megatherium or Daedon. After no luck finding any Megatheriums, I stumbled across a decent level Daedon. So I made the basic trap and made the healing piggy mine. Day 26 started off with an actually decent drop. Okay, I'll take that. I'll take that. Level 64. I made another trap. Man, I gotta start just having one of these things in my inventory at all times. Well, I trapped the Megatherium and knocked it out. It was not a very good level, but I was tired of looking for higher levels. I then went out to get some prime meat for it. Oh god. We gotta run, boys. We gotta run. I then tamed the Megatherium and then I went out to look for more.
I'm gonna be naked so the wind could just be hitting my balls.
Finding this other Megatherium meant that we now had a breeding pair and could start mating them. And hey, I actually reused an old trap. Dude, hit me, bro. Hit me, bro. I will literally throw hands. You're literally in a cage. Look at that actual beaut of a bird. I was in need of a new RG anyways. Might as well tame it. After knocking out the RG, I spotted a red drop on top of one of the snow mountains. Oh, that was worth. I came back to a tamed RG and completely forgot about my Megatherium. I ended day 26 going out to level my RG. Day 27 began the hunt for good Rexes, but I didn't find any, so I was just mindlessly flying around Carno Island and different mountains, laying low-level Lexes for an hour. It was the next day, and I was still looking.
I did it! I did it!
But eventually I found a level 68 male, and I was really tired of looking, so I decided to tame it. I tranked out the beast, and it was pretty easy since I trapped it in dino gates. But I had to kill its friend since it wasn't a female. I was looking for a breeding pair of Rexes. The Rex tamed later that day, and it actually wasn't bad for being a really low level. I then started to fly home, and I got disappointed by a drop on the way. To finish off the day, I bred my Megatheriums to get their bloodline going. Day 29, and now I want to make a hatching platform so I can start my Rex line. I had to get more electronics, so I flew out to the snow to gather more silica pearls. The journey took most of the day, so as I got back, it was night. When going to craft more cementing paste to make polymer for air conditioners, I saw that I had a bunch of leftover gunpowder, so I made some more rifle bullets. I then made more paste, farmed crystals, and went out to kill some more scorpions because I needed more chitin to make cementing paste. I should really tame one of those cementing paste farming frogs soon. But by the end of the day, I had 4 air conditioners and started crafting triangle foundations and ceilings for the breeding pad. Today, I witnessed the birth of a terrible baby. After claiming the baby, I began work on a hatching platform. As I was building, a thought occurred to me. Whose idea was it to build on a mountain? Oh wait, it was mine. I would probably move in the future to a bigger and flatter location, but for now, we will stay here. I was going for some triangle design with the edges stone and insides wood. It actually looked pretty good and had a decent amount of space. But now that I have a place to hatch my eggs, I have to get the eggs. So let's go find a female Rex. Holy, level female 104. Yeah, I got pretty lucky this time. So I then trapped it and then began tranking the Rex. Just as the sun had risen on day 30, the Rex finally knocked out. It took quite a lot of arrows since it was a very high level, but the stats were less than promising. After spiking off the Rex, I killed a couple low level Rexes for the prime and waited to tame mine. After taming the Rex, I spotted a cool level Pteranodon that just happened to be a high level, so... After taming the Pteranodon, which came out decent, I flew back to base. When I was back, I mated my Rexes to get my first Rex egg, which would start the bloodline. And to end the day, I mated my Pteranodons and spent a little time fixing up my base. Day 32, and I crafted more air conditioners for my eggs because it was quite cold on top of the mountain. I also placed my eggs down, then farmed some narco berries, farmed some wood, and then came back that my baby Pteranodon had hatched. Did I get a mutation? No. It looks like I still had some kinks to work out in the maturation and imprint rates since the Pteranodon will grow up before I can imprint it. After climbing my Pteranodon, I built some stone walls hanging from the platform so babies cannot get under it. I also put more walls on my house. Then my Rex egg hatched. It got the good melee but bad health. And then my Megatherium popped as well. But the imprint and maturation rates actually work on my Rex, so I got to imprint it and I also named it Princess. I set out to find a beaver for better wood gathering. I never found any though. So I just spent the rest of the day farming meat, hide, and chitin. I also bred the Rexes at the end of the day. It's a new day and I started it with a Megatherium baby. Of course, not a very good one. I then lined up my 2 Rexes to make breeding easier, and before I knew it, I was incubating 3 eggs. While I was waiting on them, I decided to do some farming, but after not too long, my Rexes began to hatch. After my Rexes were okay to be on their own, I went over to a nearby artifact cave to farm a bunch of chitin with a Megatherium.
Hey, you, man!
Today, I was power hungry. So what do you do when you're power hungry? You make something that can forcefully take power. So what better thing than a boomstick? The rest of the day was spent doing the norm. Mating dinos, farming, incubating eggs, and oh my god, full panic mode went on. 2 things can happen from this. I can either tame it, or it will eventually make its way up my mountain and destroy all my progress, and possibly me. So play on tame, pretty crappy level Giga, but still OP Giga, went on. I made gates, crossbows, tranks, bear traps, extra narcotics, just for me to spend all of day 35 and 36 shooting him with trank arrows and for him to get stuck in a rock. But I spent 2 full days putting arrows into him, but he never fell asleep. I even put 50 extra arrows into him. He never fell asleep. Dodo Dex, you lied. Well, day 36 ended up being a little better when I popped an unholy amount of Rex eggs at once. Day 37, and my spirits were still low from the previous 2 days, so I spent the day raising my recent batch of Rexes. I then set out the ones that were either bad or just not needed out into the wild on wandering and aggressive, and one was named Joe. Day 38, and I made a cooking pot to make some medical brews, but I came back to only 5 med brews later and just some red dye. It was a pretty normal day of baby raising until I went out for a yellow drop with a ring. Absolute dog water. think I want to build it like... Oh my god! Nah, it's got me. I'm gonna die. I'm dead. I'm not stopping to me. I'm not stopping to me. Oh! My bird's getting hit. The dial is so fast! After that traumatic experience, I spent the rest of the day just flying around and being careful. It was our 39th day when I set out for better Megatherium, and that is exactly what I found. Oh. Male 108. And by the end of the night, the giant sloth-looking boy was out cold. Nice. Ew. Oh my god, its melee is horrible. Day 40 and I brought my imprinted Rex to get some prime for the Megatherium. Having imprint is very effective against wild weaklings. The Megatherium came out decent but was not anything special. I went out searching for more for the rest of the day but to no avail. And just as dawn was about to rise, I bred my Rexes. It's a new day and a good day, so let's start it off with some classic Rex hatching. Oh, color mutation. Bro, color mutation. Please be the good stats. Let's go. After getting them organized, I did a meat run so they would not starve. And by the time I had everything sorted, I had the next half of the batch. Oh, I got another color mutation! Yeah, I got pretty lucky today, but let's just say the babies who didn't have mutations weren't so lucky. I spent the rest of the night just organizing dinos. Today, it happened again. Oh, I got another mutation! I was getting pretty lucky, but the mutations weren't going into any stats that I wanted, like health or melee. The rest of the day was just spent imprinting the babies and lining up the females to hopefully make breeding easier. Man, I gotta get off this mountain soon. Me still wanting to find a better place to live and have a better house, I went in search of a beaver since they're quite good at harvesting wood. If there's not beavers, I'm going to be mad. Ah! Level 12, bro. Get off me, know your place. I also found my original starter base and it actually had some resources that I needed, so I took them. I flew all around the map to every beaver spawn but could not find any. While I was beginning to fly back, I saw a level 129 Tech Rex. I would tame it if you could breed them with normal Rexes, but you can't, so it would be useless to me. I also spotted an okay level Baryonyx, and I still had stuff to tame it with, so I did. And apparently they eat raw prime fish meat, which I didn't know, but Dododex did. Dododex, you came in clutch this time. After the Baryonyx was tamed, I named it appropriately and flew home. Day 44 and I arrived home with a frog I stole from the swamp. He tried to run away when I set him down, but I found him and trapped him in my base. He knocked out very easily and tamed very fast. I named him Squishy. I went over to a nearby cave to level him up and see if I can get any cementine paste. If you didn't know, frogs get cementine paste from killing bugs, but it turns out to be only Meganora and Titan drones. So when I arrived home, I made some scuba gear and took off for the swamp cave. The next day, I found the swamp cave. It has tons of Meganoras inside, and I need a scuba so I don't die to the poisonous air inside. They're all like level 200! Oh! I'm getting melted! Oh my god! But let's just say I got a lot of paste, and I just bred the Rexes for the rest of the day. Day 46, and I wanted to craft a bunch of cryopods so I could transform my dinos easily. It took the whole day because I had to fly out to Greenob on an RG to craft them all. Day 47, and I have amassed quite a large Rex breeding army. I then set out for a new place to live. I found this big flat swamp area. It also had a level 104 Pteranodon. I think it was a sign. But then I made the mistake of shooting a Trudon. Oh my god, bopped. No! Oh my god, I'm getting boxed. I knocked out. Get him, get him, get him, get him. There's so many of them. My otter! Day 48, and I decided the swampy but very large and flat area will be my new home. I farmed up some ceilings and pillars to build the foundation of my house. It would be my grand estate that was elevated off the ground because foundations can be pretty hard to snap in place when there's a slight hill. And after finishing the platform, I began to fly back to my base and spotted an orange giga level 96. Day 49, and I saw this tutorial on YouTube how to make a circle base, so I had to do it. So I spent the whole day just farming, because apparently to make a circle and arc, it takes pillars, foundations, ceilings, fence foundations, and a whole lot of time to farm it. For days 50 through 52, I spent building the circle, and it took so long. It was so complicated. It would go a little something like this. Place a pillar there, place another, pick up the first, repeat that along the outside. Oh my god. And for the next few days, I began building the entrance to my grand estate. It wasn't all that interesting, so I'll make it quick. Day 54, I started on my walls. I wanted to go with some cool design, but not just plain old walls. And I may or may not have been stealing ideas from the internet. Day 55, I made a gate and put some foundations down to mark the area where I'd build my hatching area in the middle of my base. I also looted 2 red drops, one with a really good crossbow blueprint that will come in handy when I tame things. Oh! And the other one with a really good flak chest. Oh my god. Day 56, I crafted a hollow scope for my shotguns. I also made more air conditioners and another generator and power cables to power them. And when night fell, I continued working on the wall. Day 57, I kept working on the walls and then began placing wooden foundations for the hatching area. There was also a level 8 capper that was stuck. Let's not talk about what I named him. Day 58 was just another bay of building until the attack. Oh, the Rex can't bite it! Okay. No! No! Why does this happen? Flipping terrorbird. After the traumatic experience, I just kept building while crying over my loss. Day 59 through 60, and it took me 2 whole days to realize that generators nor air conditioners work when they're touching water. Wait. Huh? Oh my god, that's a scam. Don't I have like an unholy amount of hours on this game? I should know this. Finally, on day 61, I grew a brain and put the generator and air conditioners on the foundations. And then I'd spent so much crystal making and destroying air conditioners, I just spent the rest of the day flying out to the blue obelisk mountain to farm crystal because there's none around me. Day 62, and I was still out in the snow when I collected some oil for future things and abducted a penguin before starting my journey back home. After unloading my resources, I wanted the penguin to be mine, so I had to tame him. The bad thing about taming penguins, they have a high chance of dying when being shot by any kind of trank. When my Carricu, which is their actual name, but I like penguin better, tamed, I gave him another questionable name. And the rest of the day, I spent farming because I wanted 2 things. 1, an industrial forge so I can smelt tuff very fast, and 2, a chemistry bench so I can make a lot of gunpowder and narcotics very easily. I started off today getting baited by a red drop. No! Despawned! But I managed to craft my forge and my chemistry bench. I then crafted more smithies and fabricators and grabbed some empty cryopods and began to cryo all of my slower / weaker dinos that could possibly die on the way to my new base. After cryoing tames, I packed up all of my stuff into 2 RDs and actually used the red dye I made a while ago and painted my tools. By the end of the day, me and my Rex army set off for our new base. It was pretty fun stomping literally anything in our way. Get it, boys! Get it! No, not the weakest pteranodons. Get it, boys! Yeah, sure. Yeah. Oh, they killed it. But stuff like this would happen a lot. Guys, I'm stuck. Day 64 was spent getting all of my dinos to the base, but I did have a scare at the end of the day. No! Troodons! Oh my god. I knocked out as soon as I killed him, bro. Day 65, and I put a layer of stone walls around the circular part. And I also put a vault down and moved all of my belongings into it. And the rest of the day, I spent putting stone walls all around the square part. Day 66, I spent the whole day making the crafting area. So it has to look good if it's going to be my forever base. Day 67 was a little bit more interesting than the previous day. I made an industrial grill and cooked a bunch of meat. I was not going to have food problems for a long time. I then made my way out to the swamp cave because I needed a lot more paste, but I nearly die every time. Ah! Sam, this was a bad idea. them! I need the cementing paste. Ah! They fell! Ah! Oh my god, I'm getting whooped! Go, Squishy, go! I began the day by farming a ton of crystal. I needed a lot of it because these glass walls that I put in my house, they take quite a lot of it. I also did a metal and stone run. Wow, I was pretty productive today.
Nice.
On this fabulous day, I built more walls, named my Daedon Peppa, bred the Lexus, and started incubating some dinosaurs. Day 70, and I only ended up keeping 4 out of the batch of Rexes, and it did not end so well for the other ones. Oh god. I need to make the wall higher. I was using my boss Rexes though to gain them levels for the big fight, and it was pretty effective. And one of the 4 I saved even turned out to have a melee mutation. I hatched another batch of eggs during the night, but there was not anything special. Day 71, and I grouped up some of my boss Rexes to see what one of them needed leveling. I then leveled a Rex until day 72, and I also ran the swamp cave with a Megatherium this time, and it absolutely obliterated anything. I got a bunch of drops. Day 74, and I was still loot hungry, so I decided I wanted to run the easy underwater cave. I crafted more scuba tanks and shotgun bullets for whatever reason, even though I cannot use them underwater. But by midday, I was off with my baryonyx to the cave. I arrived on the cave on day 75. Oh my god, there's so much jellyfish. There will be tons of drops, and the creatures down there are probably pretty small and weak. How hard can this be? What? There's supposed to be a drop here. Ooh! No way that Megalodon saw me. Oh my god, what is that? No! They're so fast! Let me out! No. It's a jellyfish. I surfaced on day 76 and spotted a yellow drop, and my PT being absolute donkey nuts could not carry me, so I had to run halfway across the map for this garbage. I also found a trash red drop. Luck is not on my side right now. When I arrived home, I took a Rex out for leveling and crafted a bunch of Rex saddles. It's a new day and I actually have some luck. Like, look at this drop. Oh. Magnificent. I spent the rest of the day leveling a Rex and getting more boss Rexes. And for the next 2 days, I just leveled Rexes and healed them with the Daedon. Day 80, and I decided it was time to start collecting tributes for the Gamma Monkey. So I grabbed my fur and Megatherium and headed over to the Pat Cave. I got very close to the artifact just to realize that I needed grapples to get it. Day 81, and I acquired the artifact, then grabbed a Rex and set out for Carno Island to get the artifact of the Devourer. Day 82, and this cave is as cold as my heart, but luckily I brought fur and a very nice Rex. Oh my god, I'm shouting my window, bro. I'm shouting my... The artifact is very easy to obtain when you kill everything in the cave with ease. Day 83, and I had to get one more artifact. Guess where it was? The easy underwater cave. So I had to go through the same torture and get the artifact this time. I think it's about time that we go for it. No! Ah! Barry. Barry, come here, Barry! Yes. Okay, well, I'm Barry. Got the artifact. And once again, for the next few days, there's a lot of building, so I'll make it fast. Day 84, literally nothing happened. It took a while to fly home. Day 85, I got a useless blueprint because I don't have stegos. Then I crafted more shotgun bullets and delivered my Rexes and UD to the obelisk, so they have time to wake up before I do the boss. Day 86, I spent building the roof and walls on my base. Day 87 was a continuation of day 86 with more building, but I got some decent armor from a drop. Day 88, I built the roof on the circular part of my base. It took a large amount of ceilings. Day 89, I wanted some medical brews for the boss fight, so I harvested some obsidian for polymer, narco berries, and tinto berries for the brews. Day 90, I got more paste killing bugs with my frog in the swamp cave. Day 91, I got a very lucky drop with a subtle blueprint that would come in very handy in fighting the brood mother. Also, I spotted a red drop. Oh my god, this is not good. No! My Anki died, bro. Oh my god, it's so low. My RG. That red drop was not even worth it. Day 92 and I got my industrial cooker down and made some med brews. By the afternoon, I gathered up everything I needed and set out to the Blue Obelisk to fight the monkey. Oh, it's getting shredded! I'm so over-prepared! It's getting melted! Element. Dude, that thing died so fast. I think I'm gonna try to do the beta. That is exactly what we're gonna do. For the next 6 days, I spent getting all the tributes, and it's not entertaining at all. So here's a little montage over while I speak. But for now, we fight something that could very well end our journey. Well, we survived. We should emerge on day 100. Get him, boys, get him. Yes! We got him. Man, they didn't do too bad. We might be able to take Alpha.